Hey guys, it's me here with a weekly update. Happy almost end of spring break. It's hard to believe that the kids only have essentially Monday off for most of us, and then we're back to school for, gosh, just like what, a month and a half, just 2 months before the end of the school year. Hard to believe that we are nearing the end. Of course, this is always the time of the year where things I feel like start to get really, really crazy because we have all the year end things for the kids, testing, performances, trips, travel, all those things, all the, the usual end of school year things. But, we are, the Sunday, guys, is Palm Sunday, which kicks off what we call Holy Week within the life of the church, which celebrates essentially the last week of the life of Jesus before he is crucified and then resurrected. So it starts off with Palm Sunday. If you guys don't remember, it's the story where Jesus rides into Jerusalem on a donkey, and they're waving palm branches and laying their jackets and clothing out in the street for him to walk on. It's a very sweet, it's a very somber week. If you've ever participated in the Holy Week things, because there's a lot there's a lot that happens in Holy Week, which all leads up to Jesus' death. Now the great thing is we have the joy and the hope of the resurrection and beyond. So we're not stuck in the somberness of the week. But I think there's just something really sweet about taking time to pause in the midst of our busy lives, to reflect on just the weight that Jesus carried in this moment. Because I mean, the reality is I think he was pretty well aware going into Jerusalem what was going to happen, and so I just think, yeah, if you guys have never really spent time thinking about, it's Holy Week, I would encourage you to, pick up your Bible, read the stories. Because, like I said, there's a lot that happens. This week, next week, we will have our Journey to the Cross station set up. So that's where we have stations set up, and you can walk through. There's different activities to do at each station to help bring it to life. It's actually very kid friendly. I mean, maybe not littles, but definitely I would say 4-year-old, 5-year-olds and up can definitely handle walking through the stations and doing the various activities. I mean, our family's done this so many times. It's like we've gotten to the point now where I feel like Abigail's like, I can lead you guys through the stations because I know exactly what they all are. But it's great. It's a great reminder, again, in the midst of Easter baskets and the Easter bunny and the Easter egg hunts and all the other things, spring break and school stuff. It's just a really great way to stop and reflect on what actually is happening. Um, with that being said, um, there is a lot that is happening. So starting off with this Sunday, which is Palm Sunday, you guys were, like I said, with the palm branches and stuff. It's also a fifth Sunday, which means this is our family worship Sunday. So that means um, our 4K elementary and epic classrooms, you guys will start off up in the auditorium. Kids will sit with their parents. You guys will worship together, and then you need to make sure you have your clipboards with you and everything. And then you'll meet families in the hall in the lobby where they will sign in, and then you'll take the kids back to class. So you'll need to look at your curriculum and figure out what you can actually do within that amount of time. Usually you'll have about maybe 40-ish minutes. So if you're looking through the curriculum and you're kind of not sure what exactly you can do in that time, feel free to reach out and I'll be more than happy to walk you guys through and help you pick out which activities to focus in on. So the curriculum, you guys, because so much happens in Holy Week. So if you guys don't know this about curriculum, it's really hard when you teach only on a Sunday. You only teach Sunday to Sunday. A lot of times curriculum makers, and I've noticed this because Wonder Inc., who we use now, isn't the only one who does this, is you can get stuck in the trap where you only teach on Palm Sunday and then you go straight to the resurrection and you kind of miss all the other things that happen within Holy Week. But what I've noticed is that they've started to, because a lot of curriculums are on what's called a 3-year cycle, is they will pick 3 different events and each year focus on a different event of Holy Week. So that means, you guys, this Sunday, the lesson is not a Palm Sunday lesson. So if you go to look at the lesson and you think it's going to be a Palm Sunday, it's not. You can mention it, especially since all the kids should hopefully be coming in with palm branches from the worship moment. Um, but the Sunday is actually on the crucifixion, so it's actually more of the Good Friday stuff. So that next Sunday, when we get to Easter, we could talk about the resurrection. So again, I am trying to look up some resources, actually, you guys, of something maybe I can send home with families on Sunday that kind of helps bring home the entire Holy Week, so they can do things at home with their kiddos to kind of help hit all of the different stories. And I will have little resurrection eggs. If you guys don't know what those are, it's a set of 12 eggs that have different little things in them that, again, helps to tell what happens in Holy Week. So I will have those in the classroom for you guys for the kids to interact with and stuff like that to help real quick. Or you guys can even use this at the beginning of your story time to kind of walk them through the different eggs and then be like, okay, now we're at the crucifixion egg. And then you can pick up the lesson from there. Um, so that's Holy Week. There's a lot happening. So this Sunday, like I said, is Palm Sunday. It's also family worship. So that's where kids are in in the auditorium worshiping. We need clipboards, signs, all that. We'll have that ready for you guys. We'll have palm branches. So teachers, if you guys can help, since you don't have to do anything at the beginning of the service, if you guys can kind of help stand at the doors and help hand out palm branches to the kiddos, that would be great. If any adults want some, they can. They'll just have to return them after service because I don't have enough for everybody to keep one. I got enough for all the kids to keep one, and then some extras. But um, especially first service, second service, whatever gets handed out can just be handed out and not have to get taken back. With that being said, and then after church on Sunday, you guys, I've been trying to work on the Easter egg hunt details. A couple things. A, I'm still looking for more people to help out with that. But B is I bought some eggs that are pre-filled, but we actually have a ton of eggs left over from just previous years. And so one of the ways to help decrease the cost is I actually just buy things to fill the eggs that we can then use as prizes, either for the games or for additional hunting eggs. And so I just need help filling them. So if you're free after church this Sunday, I was thinking just from like noon to 2, I'll buy pizza for whoever can stay. I think I was going to invite our preteens, maybe our middle schoolers to stay after if they want to as well. I know it's weird because it's spring break, so I don't know if we'll have a ton of kiddos. But if anybody would be willing to help stay and stuff eggs, that would be amazing. Because I think we'll have like 1 to 3,000 eggs that I'm trying to fill still for, like I said, have for game stations and for the hunting portion of the event, which would be great. So that's this week, and then Thursday, you guys, and Friday is when we have the Journey to the Cross station set up. So you guys can come in. You can come in if you want to during the day, like during a lunch break, or if you want to come after school so you can bring kiddos with you. We'll have some evening hours as well. Friday night, we will have a Good Friday service. There's no childcare for this event. It's it's a good enough job, you guys, that you can bring your kids with you. Yes, it's somber. Yes, it's sad. Yes, we're focusing on the crucifixion. The interesting thing is, like I said, our curriculum on Sunday is more of a Good Friday because we focus on the crucifixion. But it's not left there, you guys. So again, it's a good reminder of like, hey, like this is what Jesus went through, but he doesn't stay stuck in death forever. And it's always been a good. I've always brought my kids with me to it because again, as just a way to help them remember, like, hey, like this is part of the story. This is part of what Jesus did. Help them to kind of feel the weight. I want them to feel the weight of what all this means. I will probably have. I haven't in the past, but I will probably have something for kids to help them like follow along with the service. If I can get that together in time for a Friday, we'll have that, and then Saturday morning will be the Easter egg hunt. You guys, we can use all the prayers we can around the weather. I don't know if you guys have looked at the forecast. I know we're a week out. I'm not quite freaking out quite yet. But as of right now, it's looking cold, wet, and rainy or snowy. So I have a couple of days to figure, to kind of wait and see how it settles. So if you guys I could just use your prayers either A, for the weather to change, although frankly we need the weather, or B, just for some wisdom on how to do this. I have a couple ideas in mind, but it's just I'm just trying to figure out how much effort and energy to put into all of this in the midst of Easter weekend. But with that being said, is I could still use some help, you guys, specifically around having game stations. Because again, if you guys don't know, anytime you've been to an Easter egg hunt, is we time the hunt so we have like different. So we do it by age groups, so that the littles don't get trampled by the bigs, and the kids can get about approximately the same number of eggs. And so but what we like to do is we like to have games and stuff going on and a bounce house and things like that going on so that those who are waiting have just something to do so they don't get bored. So the more people we have signed up to help do a game, that would be great. And by the way, you don't have to come up with the game ideas. We have all the game stuff and supplies. We'll have it all ready for you, but you will need to manage it. And if you need to stop a game for a little bit so you can go watch your kid hunt for their a few minutes, that's fine. We could do that, or we could figure spread the love or something like that. But I would greatly appreciate it, you guys. We sent out a ton of invites around this Easter egg hunt, so anything we could do to make it a success for our neighborhood would be amazing. And then Easter Sunday, you guys, we added a service, so there's 3 services And because we anticipate a larger number of kids, I try to expand a couple of the classes to help alleviate the numbers in a room. Um, and so I think that last count, I think we still need like 10 or 11 people to help out in various ways on Easter Sunday. So I'm going to resend out the Google spreadsheet. Anything that is yellow, those are like the must have filled spots for Easter Sunday. Anything that's green, those are great spots that if we can get them filled, but if not, it would not be like the end of the world. And so if you guys could pick up one service, if you could do two out of the three, that would be amazing. I'm not asking anybody to do all three services, although as I would love for you guys to, participate with your, sit in a service with family and stuff like that. But we could definitely use. This is pretty much one of the only Sundays I think where it's like all hands on deck. Just because Christmas Eve I usually hire sitters and stuff like that. So yes, if you guys are in town, I really, really would love for you guys to help out as much as possible to make Easter Sunday, just so we can create as much space as possible for families. We had probably about 200 kids on Christmas Eve, so I don't know if we could have just as many on Easter Sunday. I think that would be amazing to have as much space as possible. Um, I think you guys, that's it for this week. But yeah, again, you guys, I would just encourage you guys. I know it's a busy time, but I would encourage you guys this next week to, yeah, just spend some time with the Lord, focusing on Holy Week. Again, the journey to the cross, the Good Friday service. To engage with those, engage with those as you are able and free to do so. To hopefully refresh your own soul before we head into Easter. So thanks, you guys. I appreciate all of you so much. And I will see you on Sunday, worshiping.